The net increase of SK Hynix Q4 is 87.5%, and the demand for semiconductors increases. SK Hynix reported strong fourth-quarter earnings Friday, helped by solid memory semiconductor demand for servers and smartphones. Net profit for the 3 months that ended in December leaped 87.5% from a year earlier to 3.31 trillion won. Operating profit rose 340% to 4.21 trillion won, the highest since the fourth quarter of 2018. Sales jumped 55.4% to a quarterly record of 12.37 trillion won, marking the third consecutive quarter that the company logged more than 10 trillion won in sales. SK Hynix, the world's second-largest DRAM supplier, benefited from a surge in enterprise demand for metaverse-capable servers among global IT companies and from solid seasonal demand for memory chips used in mobile and consumer electronics products. The resurgence of COVID-19 with the arrival of the Omicron variant in the fourth quarter seemed to have slowed down a decrease in demand for such IT products. For 2021, the company achieved all-time high revenue of 42.9 trillion won, up 34.8% from the previous year. The previous sales record was 40.4 trillion won reported in 2018. Operating profit for 2021 was 12.4 trillion won, up 147.6% from a year earlier and the highest in 3 years. The company specializes in DRAM and NAND memory chips, which account for more than 90% of the chip maker's revenue. By sales, DRAM accounted for around 70% of the company's total revenue, while NAND accounted for 23%, according to industry tracker TrendForce. The average selling prices of DRAM could fall by 8% to 13% quarter-on-quarter due to a seasonal demand downturn in the first quarter. Whether this price drop will subside going forward will depend on how well suppliers manage their inventory pressure and how DRAM purchasers anticipate further price changes, it said. Analysts here expect the company to continue its robust growth this year as enterprise IT investment will continue to remain robust and memory inventory by major server companies is expected to go down. DRAM prices are forecast to begin turning around in the third quarter. The company said it will continue its strategy of focusing on profitability while containing market volatility by managing its DRAM inventory flexibly, as supply chain issues are expected to ease from the second half and market demand for memory products will rise. In a separate regulatory filing, the chip maker said it will invest 2.39 trillion won in its chip factory in Wuxi, China, by 2025 to pump up DRAM production and capacity. The company produces half of its DRAM annual production in Wuxi, which accounts for about 15% of the global supply, and it expected NAND sales to double this year, with the launch of its US subsidiary Solidim following the completion of the first phase of Intel NAND and SSD business acquisition in December. In the NAND flash market, SK Hynix took up 13.5% after Samsung's 34.5% and Japanese chipmaker Kioxia's 19.3%, according to TrendForce. Combined with Intel's NAND business, which has a 5.9% market share, SK Hynix will likely rise to become the world's number 2 player in the segment. The company said it expected the merger to help double its market share in the long term. There are a few redundancies in our product portfolio, and we were able to thus minimize any losses in the course of the consolidation, No Jongwon, President and Chief Marketing Officer, said during an earnings call. We are actually hoping that we will be able to end up with a market share that is bigger than the simple sum, he said, in part by capitalizing on Intel's deep understanding in computing architecture. The company expects to see high growth for DRAM demand and around 30% growth for NAND this year.